Since I'm in a traffic jam, right? The video that I just uploaded that talks about future cars, you know, moving into SUV form factor, about Mercedes-Benz, the Mercedes 35, and then I spotted an F10 in bright red color. So I put there and say that, you know, maybe for another episode I can talk about BMW and Mercedes relationship. I mean, not so much on a relationship, but just some history. Now, all of our cars, all of our engines, okay, maybe you have heard it somewhere, we call them auto cycle engine, right? Have you? And then you hear the Toyota Prius calling it an Atkinson cycle engine. Of course, there are one or two another cycle engines, but basically, what do you mean by all this cycle? It means the actual application of how to make it work for putting combustion, petrol, fuel, and using explosion to move the cars. Okay, I mean, everybody knows that. Okay, you put some explosives here and then you light them, bam, yeah, it will push. That is a form of force, right? But how do we turn that into a reciprocate? Okay, I lost the word. Sometimes it does that, right? Okay, but you know what I'm trying to say, huh? How to make it reciprocate? Oh, wow. And that design, you know, of the valves opening, air in, fill, 14:1 mixture, and then boom, and then it goes up again. That cycle, you know, 4-stroke cycle, was sort of invented by Nicolaus Otto, O-T-T-O, okay? Nicolaus Otto designed and patented that in 1860 something, I couldn't recall, okay? So, but during that time, before the whole Carl Benz thingy, the Benz patent Motorwagen thingy, nobody believes in a mechanical carriage or motorized carriage. You know, to them, why would you need a car that goes slower than a horse that might break down? And it needs fuel. Where do we find fuel? In the middle of nowhere, right? There's no petrol station back then, right? To them, horses are wonderful because horses are reliable. They can go extremely long distances, and then all they do is drink water from the river and eat grass. They are the nature's engine, biological, bionic engine, right? Horses. So why do you need motorized carriages? Nobody believed in that. So back then, Nicolaus Otto, when he designed the auto cycle engine, he intended for that to replace steam engines or hydro engines. What are hydro engines? A windmill might be a hydro engine, right? They put the thing in the river flows, the thing spins in, a gear lever spins up, you know, and that, not a windmill, sorry. Windmill uses wind. What the hell I'm talking about? To grind stuffs, right? To move things. To basically, those are basic engines, right? Powered by water or powered by wind or steam. Okay, so he intended for that to replace steam engines because, honestly speaking, the power density of steam engines are pretty low, right? Water as it is, they're not very compressed, and then you burn fire, and then you boil water, and then steam will go up, and then it pushes things. Not very powerful compared to burning something, an explosion, right? So that's where the auto cycle engine came about, and he applied for a patent, he won it, he got it, and then he produces engines to sell to people to do things, okay? He has 2 employees. One of them, his name is Gottlieb Daimler, familiar name, right? The other guy is Wilhelm Maybach. Yup. These 2 are his employees, and they saw the potential of this, and they believe that can be applied to a car. later part of the years, you know, because Carl Benz was the first person who successfully did it. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to Nikolaus Otto. Why do I mention him? Because the company that he built, okay, the foundation that he built, which eventually, of course, his son also ventured into the same industry, building engines, and his son established Otto Flugzeugwerk. His son is by the name of August Otto, or Gustav Otto. His son actually built Otto Flugzeugwerk. Okay, so Otto Flugzeugwerk will build engines for aircrafts, and they get all kinds of different projects to do. Okay, of course he wasn't that good of a businessman during World War I, and of course they're trying to pitch for business. Everybody does that, right? Whether you are or the Axis or the Allied or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, your government goes to war, you want to supply them things for money, right? It's business at the end of the day, right? So but that didn't turn out well for him. Eventually he has to, you know, merge with other companies. I mean, mergers are very normal back then. You see DMG, they merge, and then with Carl Benz, and then they form Mercedes-Benz or whatever. It's very common for mergers to apply in businesses, especially during the era where everybody is trying to start up building their own stuff. So they actually merged with Rap Motorenwerk, okay, and that soon became Bavaria Flugzeugwerk. I think you know where I'm going, right? Yes, the remnants or the succession, the lineage of BMW can be traced to Otto cycle engines. Yes, every single engines out there, the design came from the Otto family, and it was also the Otto family that resulted in Bavarian Motorenwerk, BMW. Yes, interesting history, because if you put aside mergers and count the very beginning of lineage, of history, of tradition, BMW can trace itself back to 1860s, where they are not even called BMW, which I made this on the same logic as Mercedes calling themselves starting from 1886, you know, because 1886 is Benz and C, not DMG, not Daimler Motorengesellschaft. During that time, or before that, the founders of Mercedes-Benz's company, Daimler, are actually employees of the founders, technical founders of BMW. Very, very interesting. And BMW was incorporated. The logo, the name BMW or BMW was in 1916, whereas the brand Mercedes-Benz was incorporated 10 years later, 1926. That is, yeah, a little bit of history.